formulating business and information systems strategies, mentoring and coaching chief executive officers, CIOs and leadership teams of IT at ensuring that both business and IT achieve the corporate goals of the organization. More recently, Shola has been championing the adoption of AI across WestAfrica companies in Africa, with significant improvements in staff productivity and the company's business performance. Shola has a bachelor's and master's degrees in computer sciences from the University of Lagos, a Master of Business Administration from OAU, and a Master of Science in Software Engineering and Intelligent Systems from the University of Alberta. Shola has several designations, including PMIACP, and is a graduate of Imperial College, Harvard Business School, and Cranfield University. Ladies and gentlemen,
hello everyone, good morning, Nancy.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Audible now?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining. We apologize for the glitch. Thank you all. This morning, it's a privilege to have Mr. Shola Oduke with us. Would have to take a replay of his bio, but we are so very grateful to have him with us today. Beyond being the president and the CEO of Precept Africa, is also the chairman of Focus Group. This morning is going to be doing justice to the future of IT consulting in Nigeria and West Africa. And majorly, we're looking at the IT governance framework, COBIT and ITIL in practice. So if you're an IT professional here, you're into IT consulting, you're the head of IT in your organization, this morning, you have a privilege to listen for free without paying to a professional in the IT space, to Mr. Shola Oduke. Now, one more time, we're going to listen to his bio, and then would then have Mr. Shola take the floor. His bio, please. Can you play one more time? Thank you.
Thank you.
Technical, can you play his bio, please? Thank you. Please, if you can listen to the recording.
Shola is a strategic and visionary technology leader.
Can we do away with the recording and just go on to start? We can't hear you. I don't think anybody can hear you. You are muted. You are muted. We can't hear you. What did you say?
I said you can proceed, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. Good morning, everyone. Let me pull up my slide deck. Second. Oh, can everybody see my screen? If Can everybody
Yes,
see my screen? Okay, thank you. And can you see me and hear me very well?
yes, you are audible enough.
Thank you, thank you. So good morning, everyone, and thanks to Focus Group for this invitation. Again, my name is Shola Oduko. It is spelled Sola and Oduko, Oduko. I'm here to take you through, or we're here today to talk about the future of IT consulting in Nigeria and West Africa, and but more specifically, how frameworks like COBIT, ITIL, how they actually work in practice, not just in theory. As we know that even though most organizations will claim that they've implemented some form of governance or the other, or they still struggle to make it work in practice. So that's what we're going to be talking about. But we need to lay the foundation. What is consulting and what is governance? Consulting basically at its core is about helping organizations solve problems and achieve business outcomes. So they may not be able to achieve on their own. It goes beyond just providing advice. Is that okay? It will include designing solutions and, most importantly, implementing those solutions. And this distinction between advice and execution is exactly where the future of consulting is evolving. Governance, on the other hand, is simply about making sure that the right decisions are made, is that okay, by the right people in the right way, and that those decisions drive the strategic goals of the organization and helps ensure that the organization achieves its strategic objectives. So, moving on, um, so like I said before, IT governance is the system by which, oh, there are many governance out there. IT governance is just one of those things that help IT make decisions about IT priorities and IT investments. Is that okay? It's helped them to support business goals and so on. And why does this matter? Why do we need to worry about investing in IT governance, investing in COBIT, investing in ITIL, or in project management, and so on and so forth? Because without governance, you will just be wasting money, because you are not going to be focusing your investment towards achieving important ROIs. And a lot of businesses spend huge money on IT, and despite that, they're not realizing any value from such investment. And especially for those in the banking industries and telecom industries, the regulatory expectations continue to rise across different markets in Africa. And then you then also find out that good consulting firms are quite rare. That understand the African context, they are not, they are very, very rare to find. So we need to understand that the future of IT consulting is not just, IT is now the central to business growth and not just about maintaining and ensuring the wheels are running. Organizations are now moving from IT support to digital business models, and the demand is shifting from advice to execution and measurable outcomes. And these are the gaps that we at Procept Africa exist to solve and improve. So let's start by understanding what is actually changing in the consulting across Nigeria and West Africa. Traditionally, IT was seen as a support function, something that keeps systems running. Is that okay? But today, that has completely changed. IT now drives business growth, customer experience, and even competitive advantage. Banks can never exist. Banks and telecoms can never exist without technology. In fact, technology uh, has has become the driving force for these two industries, and it's making them work. Even government services are becoming more and more technology driven. And because of this shift, the expectations from IT consulting is also changing or have also changed. Organizations are now not looking for consultants who simply can introduce frameworks like COBIT and ITIL, but they are looking for partners who can actually help them translate those frameworks into business value for their organizations. At the same time, pressure from regulators that continue to increase, especially in banking, in telecos, and in public services, mean that governance is no longer what? Optional. So many of these frameworks were designed in more mature markets, and they are often applied in Africa or in Nigeria or West Africa without proper context. And without proper adaptation, you'll find out that those things are not necessarily helping them achieve their goals. And that is why we're here today, to understand that you need partners that understand local context to help you drive home the IT governance implementations and execution. So now, a lot of people, there's that confusion between what people think is IT consulting and what the reality is. Some people think it's big frameworks, ITIL, COBIT, Timber Guide, Prince 2, and so on. A lot of people think it's certifications, PMP, ITIL 5 Foundation, and so on. A lot of people just think that their management systems, their documentation, once you have huge sets of documents, that's consulting. And other people just think these are global best practices. Whereas in reality, consulting is about driving adoption, is about holding people in the IT space to ensure that whatever is it they are trying to achieve by introducing and implementing a framework actually achieves its objectives. So consultants are meant to guide, are meant to coach, and are meant to mentor. And that's what WestAfrica does quite well. So there's a number of globally recognized frameworks designed for improving IT governance. COBIT, ITIL, and a host of others. But the main primary objective is all about increasing effectiveness of organizations through guidelines, through structures, processes for creating value through IT. So selection of an appropriate framework for your organization and prioritizing in which order should they go in, this is just the standard first step. Once you are done with that, the second step, which is always the most challenging, is ensuring its effective implementation, meaning mapping the system to the organization's internal structures, aligning them with your corporate culture, ensuring that all the different business units realize and understand oh, these frameworks and what it means for them, and managing the organizational changes as all these things are being introduced. So you need a consulting partner with experience and that has specialized expertise to help you drive this execution. So what is COBIT? COBIT stands for Control Objectives for Information and Related Technologies. It's a governance framework created by ISACA. Okay. And it was developed by ISACA, focusing on ensuring that IT is properly controlled and IT is aligned with the business strategy. So it's providing direction, structure, and accountability for how IT should operate within the organization. So in practical terms, it's helping us put structure around IT, assigning roles and responsibilities, managing risks, ensuring regulatory compliance, and measuring performance. COBIT has several things like enterprise enablers, or it has process reference models. And when you look at some of those things, you see that some of these might also be duplicated in other frameworks like ITIL, like CMMI dev for development. But all of them, they are to bring about effectiveness, that IT is doing the right thing for the organization so that the organization is achieving business value. A lot of people spend a lot of investment on their IT every year. And from some of the interactions I've had with different CEOs, when you ask them, what value do you get from your IT? They really can't put a number at it. All they can say is that at least our IT is keeping the balls running. And so we need to move away from that and ensure that IT is the main innovating engine that should be driving the business outcomes for every business organization, especially banking and telecoms and other industries that are out there. So moving on to ITIL. ITIL is a framework governed by PeopleSat. It's traditionally is helping to manage IT services, is to deliver value for customers, and more recently, is co-creating value with customers, and is to improve overall service quality. That's what ITIL is trying to do for us. So when we look at what does IT help our organizations to achieve, you could see a host of those things on this slide. It's aligning IT with business objectives. It's improving our overall service quality. It's reducing operational costs, and so on and so forth, and driving continual improvement. So ITIL is not just for IT today. ITIL is for the business. ITIL is for the enterprise. So there's what they call enterprise service management, whereby you could use the concept of ITIL practices, implement that across the various business units. So that instead of holding IT department accountable for business outcomes, you are holding every business unit accountable for the services they are providing in their own business units. So, but ITIL has moved on. It used to be ITIL 4, but now what we have on the screen now is actually ITIL 5. So ITIL 5 is now here to stay. It was launched in February, and ITIL 5 starts with the foundation. So if you want to go through this qualification scheme, you have to start with understanding ITIL foundation and passing the exam for that. And you could go through three streams. You could either go through the practitioner stream, which is ITIL practice manager stream, or managing professional stream, meaning you're a manager in IT department, or strategic leader stream, meaning you are an IT leader like CIO and its direct reports. So you could go to any of those streams. But once you have done foundation, you could either do any of the second level of courses that are before the ITIL transformation, or move straight to ITIL transformation and do ITIL transformation. But before you can get any of these designations, ITIL practice manager, ITIL managing professional, and ITIL strategic leader, you have to have done all these courses. So for example, to become an ITIL practice manager, you have to have done one of the three ITIL practice manager streams, which is monitor, support, and fulfill. plan, implement, and control, collaborate, assure, and improve, or one of those three. Once you've done one and you've done the ITIL transformation, you will receive an ITIL practice manager designation. From there, if you are somebody who is a manager in IT, or you need to go through foundation and or a stream of other things like ITIL product, service and experience, and maybe ITIL transformation. Once you have done transformation at the first time, you don't need to do it again. So you do it once and that's it. Then you'll be designated ITIL managing professional. And then last but not the least, if you are the CIO or somebody in the leadership unit, strategic planning unit, you do IT strategy, and you also do the transformation, you will become the IT strategy leader. Once you have these three designations, you'll be called an ITIL master. That's the current pathway for version 5. So, like I said before, ITIL delivers several benefits. Some of them, they are listed here. Reduce incidents, faster resolution, improved IT business alignment, and a host of others. And ITIL today has 34 practices. Some of them are listed here, but there are so many that are not here. And these practices help you to ensure that ITIL is properly executed or implemented within your organization. So WestAfrica is an authorized partner for ITIL implementation, advisory, and provides any of the certification training that you may want. We are able to bridge the gap between the knowledge from the frameworks and ensuring that your business gets value from this implementation. So let's be honest, most professionals today already know about ITIL and COBIT and so on. The question is, how are they different? Is that okay? COBIT is focusing on governance, while ITIL is about service management, but not just for IT department, it's for the enterprise. Because let's face it, HR provides HR services, finance provides finance services, procurement provides procurement services. All of these are services which ITIL service management concept can be used to help you govern or manage. COBIT is focusing on the what and why. Where is the organization heading and why? Whereas ITIL is showing you how to get there. COBIT is looking at the board and the management of the organization, whereas ITIL looks at the operations. COBIT looks at strategy and control, while ITIL looks at execution and delivery. In summary, COBIT tells you what good looks like, while ITIL helps you delivers it. So the two of them must work together. In places where this has worked very well, these are places where they brought both COBIT and ITIL together. While COBIT is setting governance, ITIL is helping to execute those practices that will then help the business achieve business value. So, for example, you notice that your system for maybe an ATM continues to go down. So you could borrow the sort of control objectives that can be used to define what you should be targeting from an ITIL implementation. So those objectives will come from COBIT. whereas the specific practices that we implement to improve or to reduce downtime and improve availability, these ones will come from ITIL. So when you implement things like ITIL and problem management practices, these are things that would help you improve availability and reduce operational downtime. But organizations still struggle because transformation initiatives often underperform because people do not adopt the change fast or deeply enough. Like I said before, COBIT will tell you what to achieve. ITIL will show you how to achieve it. But without a good partner, a good consulting partner, you can't have a good execution. You then see that your implementations fail. So you need to ensure that your implementations is successful by ensuring that the glue, the thing that will bring the what into reality through the how, which is ITIL, is done through some form of hand-holding by the implementation partner. So a consulting partner will definitely bring understanding of the framework that you can implement and in what order. And they will be able to contextualize the framework, is that okay, to the local realities of the country and of the market. They'll be able to translate policies into practices. Is that okay? They will be able to ensure that people are well trained to be able to use the new set of frameworks. And they'll be able to define what success looks like before implementation begins and reports to leadership and to the board as the implementation goes on. And then they'll be able to do a post-implementation or benefits realization to ensure that benefits are actually gained. So WestAfrica provides all these 6 in countries, in context, with measurable outcomes. Let's look at what the future of consulting is through the lens from the global advisory firms. Gartner tells you that, again, consulting is shifting from what? Advisory is moving on to execution and outcomes. And they expect measurable business value, not just recommendations, paper recommendations. Forrester is also saying that there's a demand is increasing for hands-on implementations, not just paper recommendations. Deloitte is saying organizations must integrate governance, risk, and service delivery, and frameworks will be used to embed this into operations to deliver value. While McKinsey and Co. also says that successful transformation greatly depends on execution capability and capability building. Strategy alone will not deliver value. It's just a roadmap. It's just a bunch of recommendations. So you need to move from recommendations to execution. You need to move from ensuring that we're not just implementing these frameworks or implementing, solving any business problem without understanding what the future holds. One can say that if one wants to look at Africa or even the world, one can divide consulting firms into three tiers. Tier one are the global brands. Very strong brand, high level strategy. They may be expensive depending on your pocket. Okay. But most of the implementations come from their regional or global practices. So they might have limited localization and low implementation depth. The extreme, which is tier three, they are low cost providers, no structure at all, one person, or inconsistent quality. And so, again, a company that sometimes don't understand what value is may jump to the tier three and think that that is the solution, whereas the solution might lie in tier two, which brings you the strong expertise, deep local understanding, hands-on execution, and they may be cost effective. They are not necessarily cheap, but cheaper than tier one. And flexible delivery. Again, this is where Procept plays in. So we're in the tier two area whereby we're able to bring in global best practices. We don't just design, we would implement. Local execution reality, we understand African business realities, and so we are not implementing without the context. And we stay beyond strategy into execution and deliver measurable outcomes, meaning using our practical implementation experience. So our logo says where precision meets expertise or execution. We have 40 plus years of global standards or as a global leader in technology advisory and capacity building, North American methodology, internationally recognized certifications. We have practitioners credentialed by ISACA, PeopleSat, PMI, IIBA, and other leading bodies. We have structured, proven delivery methodologies aligned to international best practices. In our African context, we have operations across 11 countries in Africa. We understand how organizations actually work, the culture, the constraints, the environment, and we continue to grow, and we are governed by a 6-member advisory board. And we have lots of associates that work with us to support what we do. So we have to bring you quality people with the experience to do the work. So, and when it comes to our consulting work, it's not just about recommendations and advice. We go the whole way through to implementation. Is that okay? So we map the frameworks to your structure, train your people, and we ensure that value is realized at the end of the day. So again, most firms know what the frameworks are. At Procept Africa, we're here to make them work for you. So there are several case studies of different things whereby the sort of work we have done in the past, or bringing in COBIT, ITIL, or to ensure that the organizations get the result. So I think that is where I will be stopping now. The rest is just some other things about Procept. This is our consulting offerings divided into two: management consulting and technology consulting, and that is it. So I would stop now and allow you to ask questions.
Sir. Thank you very much, sir. That was an in-depth dive into COBIT and ITIL and practice. And, for people who are in the IT space, really understanding what IT consulting is, right? Is very important. And also that you were able to break it down, that is beyond just consulting. You need to understand that there's governance and there's framework, separating those two key subjects is very important. And I want to believe that a lot of people have taken that home now, and then they can start, looking at their operations, which is the governance part, which is the framework part. And of course, how do we also use COBIT and ITIL to ensure that all the business units are compliant? I mean, I really love the part where you said that it's not just the enterprise software team that has to be held responsible. All the business units will be held responsible, especially when this is, properly implemented. Then beyond that is, consulting, IT consulting is also about handholding organizations and enterprises, and also helping them, guide them through, their strategy and helping them implement. Execution is key. So we might have a plan in paper, but how do you implement? How do you execute? Very, very important. Thank you very much, sir. I know a lot of people have questions. We really do not have so much time today. I know that the last webinar we spent about 2 hours. But today, Mr. Shola is not giving us 2 hours of his time. We only have just an hour, and we have just about less than 15 minutes to entertain questions. So I'm going to throw it to the floor. I'm going to open the floor now. If anyone has any question that they want to ask Mr. Shola, please raise your hand. We can actually see that you're raising your hand here, and then we would grant you the floor. You can also drop questions, and I think I have like few people who have sent in question. Let me just read this one out real quick. So somebody asks, saying that around COBIT governance objectives, which are most critical to support our current business strategy, especially for service management firms. That which of, the COBIT, I think he said, which of the, governance objectives are most critical that can support their business strategy?
So, I mean, COBIT is about control objectives, and there are objectives for the organization, the enterprise, which will then cascade into objectives for each department for IT, and which will cascade into objectives for each of the business units, and then which will cascade to objectives to the sections. So, we can't say that this objective is either more important than the other. All the objectives are important to deliver business value. They are all critical to ensuring that the businesses realize the value. Recall that COBIT is about telling us what needs to be done, and what are the outcomes we're expecting from it. Whereas ITIL and other frameworks will then help you define how you do it, how you get there. I hope I was able to answer the question. But the person can also reach out. You are muted. The person can also reach out or you can give people my contact information,
Okay, sir.
and they can reach out or to me or through an email or through a text, or if they have other questions. But we can still take questions until the dot of the hour.
Okay, I think another question here is for how do we train our existing staff to adopt these practices rather than hiring expensive consultants?
And that's a good question. That's an excellent question. Oh, it's one thing that is out there today that was not there many years ago is AI. So AI has simplified a lot of things, but AI will still not, or will AI does not can go into ITIL 5 and bring out what ITIL 5 is saying. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So how do you do it without spending lots of money and so on? It means that people have to do the studying by themselves. So either self-reading or you subscribe to an academy whereby you can do self-tutoring. In some organizations, or like focus group, they ask all their engineers or to train themselves and become certified. So when they are certified, that's partly or, or getting the knowledge that they need to get to be able to do their work. And we also have that same concept at Procept. One of our appraisal metrics is personal development. So there's a place for you developing yourself without hiring expensive consultants in quote, but there's also a place that the organization will do to help the organization drive adoption and the success faster than what the individual people can do. I hope I was able to answer that.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I think the other part of the question is, for COBIT and ITIL, unlike PMP, unlike other programs that are quite popular in Nigeria or in Africa, where also, I mean, I do understand that Procept Africa can train them, right? And they can also reach out to Procept Africa to train them. But for small organizations, say when last week when we had a conversation around data management privacy, right, a lot of the conversation was bordered around big organization, because you also need to know the kind of data you consume, or the amount of data that you have or you are processing in your organization. So for a small organization or a mini organization, how soon do you think they need to start looking at their IT processes and then start implementing or integrating COBIT and ITIL?
As soon as they can. Everything should be driven by business value. What are they trying to do? So it shouldn't be about, oh, you have to be a big firm for you to implement some practices. It's what is driving you. As small as even an organization with 10 people or 20 people, provided they are going to be providing services to their customers, they need to have some understanding of some service management or customer relationship management, some of those kind of things. So you don't need to be an organization of 5,000 to ensure that you have a process that is helping you receive requests and questions and queries from your customers and have a system in place that can help you answer them. That's a framework. Whether you want to call it a framework or not, but it's a framework. You have to put in a system that will then help you capture those requests, triage it to people internally, and then provide answers to the appropriate people in line with a time that makes the customers, the people asking those questions, happy and satisfied. So that's really what one of these things what we need to take from this thing.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Because we're running against time, I'm going to, read out these two questions at the same time. So the
Yeah.
question one says, where an organization cannot implement both practices at the same time, which would you recommend the organization start with? And the second question says, in implementing the practices, what cadre of staff would be required? Would it be the same set of staff or a different type? Please share how this works. What
Okay.
cadre of staff will be required? Yes.
Okay. The first one is which one should we implement first? Again, the answer every consulting firm will give you is it depends on the organization. What are you trying to achieve? Okay, an organization that is driven by, let's say, a bank, driven by, let's say, a regulator, and the regulator is saying you must be certified to ISO 20000, which is service management, then for such, they will need ITIL first. But whilst we are trying to implement ITIL, you may borrow the objectives from COBIT. You may borrow. So you are not implementing COBIT, but before you can say these are the steps we will use to achieve this objective, those objectives are coming from COBIT. So you are borrowing from COBIT whilst you are implementing ITIL. So it depends. For an organization that has just recently, or what's it called, acquired a new board and governance and so on, and governance is going to be key for such an organization, then implementing COBIT will be the right way to go for such an organization instead of ITIL. It's establishing the control objectives that would come from the enterprise to IT and to all the different business units that they must live up to, they must report into. So again, it depends. Regarding the type of staff or the quality of staff that people they should hire, again, that depends. One of the things that is really important is that people have gone to school. So they've gone to school, they have BSc or whatever they need to have and so on as first degree. But more importantly is their ability to learn. You want to hire people that want to learn learn very, very quickly. They are not adept to learning. They just want to learn, and learn. Those are the kind of people that you want to hire, not the people that are set in their ways. They don't want to learn any new thing. Then you want to move away from such people. So if you have people that have good intelligence, IQ, those are the people you should bring into an organization. You can train them on every other thing. Every other thing you can add to them. But good IQ, you might not get it from everybody.
Thank you very
I hope
much.
I answered that question.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much, sir. I think it's very important that I reiterate what you just mentioned. So, concerning, if you have, good IQ, you can actually work across, different departments. Yeah. It's just, a matter of time and a matter of training and ability to also, be proactive and take initiatives. So don't see COBIT or ITIL as something that is far-fetched up there, as something that if you're in the IT department or you feel that your career path tends towards that, then you should start exploring, COBIT and ITIL in practice. Start exploring it. Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Shola.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know that we have just 2 minutes, left. I don't know if anyone has any other question, but of course we can't take it. If you have any other question, just direct it, to me. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can also find Mr. Shola Oduko on LinkedIn at Mr. Shola Oduko. and also follow Precept Africa. Now, for everyone who is here today, you're wondering why are they having this webinar? You can see my backdrop. 10th year anniversary focus group is coming up. And we're so excited to be bringing you a webinar series. We had the first one of its kind last week, where we spoke about, data privacy, embedding the privacy into, compliance into operations. And then today, we've had Mr. Shola to do justice to IT consulting in Nigeria and West Africa, governance and framework, ITIL and COBIT in practice. Next week, we're having another person, a phenomenal person, Mr. Femi Adiago, who is coming to talk about, we know how AI is right now and everybody is impersonating another. They can clone your business and then claim on it. And then even many more to come, 8 of this webinar. And of course, the person who got the vision to start focus group is also coming to tell us how in 3 years they made a capitalization of over 2 billion and even counting. So you want to be part of that webinar. Thank you all so much for joining us for the focus group on all the social media accounts, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. I don't know if focus group is on Twitter, but yes, on all these social media accounts, kindly follow focus group. Also, if we have the partners and clients here, please, we're looking forward to you coming to celebrate with focus group at 10 come August 17, 2026. So I think we have Mr. Raji on the call today. Dr. Raji, rather. I'm so sorry. Dr. Raji, Oladipo Raji. I want to believe we have him here. Please, if we have him here, please kindly turn on your camera so we can take a group picture with Mr. Shola Oduko. I also want to recognize the presence of the CEO, Mr. Simon Agi. I can see you on the call. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. So we still have as an exciting webinars coming up, and the speakers. In fact, we have one coming up with Mrs. Adedoyin. She is an ex-PwC. You don't want to miss this webinar. Do we have Mr. Raji on the call so that we can, turn on his camera, and then we can take a group picture with Mr. Shola Oduko? All right. I think it's coming up now.
Okay, I am on the call. I was trying to unmute, but now I'm able to unmute myself.
All right,
So,
sir. How about your camera, sir?
yeah, it's coming on right now as well. Can you see me?
Okay, maybe not as clear. Maybe you might have to help us move a little bit back. Just move, yes, away from your camera.
Is it better?
I think it's still not clear. It's a little bit blurry, but I think we can manage.
Or let me try clean the camera. Perhaps it will come out better. 1 second. Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Please, can you change the background for us, sir?
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
so this is the
So I think
background.
that would make it better.
Yeah. Okay. Is this better?
Okay, I think we can manage this.
Okay.
Yes, I think we can manage this. All right. Technica, please, are you ready so that we can take this group picture? All right. 1, 2, go. Cheese, everyone.
Cheese.
Cheers.
Let's take it one more time. 1, 2, go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheese.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining. Again, I know some people didn't catch my
Thank you
name.
for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So
You're welcome.
I will send you a message after that. I'll call you after this. I know you're getting into a meeting, but I'm going to call you after this. Thank you very much. So everyone who wants to speak to Mr. Shola, please kindly send me a message You can also, reach out to me on LinkedIn at Anu Oluwapo Akiyami. Anu Oluwapo Akiyami. I'm the principal consultant at Speak Mind Solutions. Anu Oluwapo Akiyami. Thank you all so much for joining. I know we need to let Mr. Shola go now. Thank you very much, and bye for now. Bye.
Bye, everyone.